Jason, a 1-0 win over a strong Charleston team. Overall thoughts on that game?
Very pleased for the entire squad. You know, certain players came into the team that have been out of the picture for a little while and performed very, very well for the team. I thought our energy, our work rate, our passing ability and possession on the ball was pretty good at times. I think we still need to pull the final trigger and try and take our shots a little bit quicker, but all in all, it was a great team effort. You know, you don't like to single out players, but Kellyn Roberts and Skylar Thomas, I mean, some performance today. So fair play to the entire team. It was a good result and much needed victory.
And the goal was off a set piece. Was that particular one worked on before this game?
Yes, we've been on the training ground always the day before. We always work on our set pieces, trying different things to try and unbalance the opposition. They're a very dangerous team from set pieces, so we knew we had to be strong on that side of it. But great delivery from Mo, and then Skylar went up and try and make it his own. So, you know, if we can get goals from all around the park, you know, not just the strikers, that's very, very important for us moving forward.
And you talked about players coming back, and we had Celle Bernal making his debut with the team. What were your overall thoughts on his play?
Yeah, I thought he did well. You know, he's been out for a long time, and, you know, we haven't seen him basically since February in preseason. So fair play to him. He's been keeping himself busy and working hard since he's been away. And he came in and slotted in and brought some good energy and some attacking threat. He still has to understand the system. Obviously, he hasn't been with us, so that's understandable. But also Mark Sargent, who's been out since basically March 25th against Montreal, has not played, but has been working really, really hard and getting better. And I thought he came in and did a really good job for the team, so credit to him.
How would you say the team did comparing the first half and the second half? Do you think they played a little bit more attacking in the first and the second?
I think in the first half, you know, we were trying to push the game as well. Charleston was kind of sitting back a little bit so we could get into the middle to attacking third, but then we were having a tough time trying to solve, you know, with our speed of play, trying to unbalance them. So in the second half, you see moments where it was more of in the transition game, where we were trying to break forward and we got into some good positions, but like I said, we just need to try and pull the trigger a little bit more. And, you know, you could get blocks, you could get own goals, keepers could parry things and give up rebounds. A lot can happen if you try and pull the trigger a little bit quicker, you know. So we're hoping to try and address those issues as we move forward. But all in all, it was a pretty good performance.
How hard is it to watch a guy in Kellyn? Would you tell your center backs to really focus on him, knowing that they seem to go to him?
Yeah, we do a lot of advanced scouting, and we show the players video on the opposition. Kellyn was definitely one of their biggest threats from their game against Wilmington last week. You know, the goal he scored is a top goal in any league, so we knew he was going to be a threat. But as long as our center backs were aware of him at all times, and also trying to set the line as opposed to allowing him to set the line, which would then force us deeper, then we wouldn't give ourselves the best possible chance of defending him. But he's still a good player. You know, he likes to move out into the flank in between center back and full back, so we always had to be aware of his movement for sure.
Obviously, it was a very physical match. How do you tell the team to be calm in that sort of moment? I hear a couple times you were telling Skylar to calm the team down. What else do you really do?
Yeah, I mean, Kellyn Roberts was a captain, but sometimes it's difficult for the goalkeeper to reach all the outfield players. So I know Skylar has leadership qualities, so I tried to get to him to try and calm the team down. It was difficult. You know, I think the ref kind of lost a little bit of the game, and that kind of contributed to a little bit of the chippiness that was happening out there. But it's difficult for players as well, because some of the fouls that he was calling were never fouls, you know, for both sides, not just us, for them as well. So fair play that the boys kept their heads and got through it.
Ocello played in a role that maybe he's not used to. Usually it was filled by Frazier and Mandela. How do you rate his performance? He played well in that position.
Yeah. Luca Uccello is a very smart footballer. The last time he played in that position, we won 2-1 against Montreal, and he played the 6th position. So he can play that role. He's a central midfielder by trade, so it's not uncommon for him. And I thought he stepped in, and his passing was assured. He kept us in possession. He switched the point of attack. He knew when to push forward. He knew when to hold. And defensively, he broke up some plays. So I thought it was a very assured performance from him. So I was happy.
USL's actually had twice 2 goalies be named Player of the Week. Do you think Q is up for nomination for that.
Yeah,
This performance?
I think after this performance, he'll be up there for sure, which I'm sure he'll be pleased with.